No, your sound's not broken. It's just, this is what playing Killer has been like the past patch. It seems like it's just getting worse and worse. I just cannot hear anything. And it is almost definitely an audio occlusion thing, but there's also bugs where people are just getting quick and quiet, for example, or they're getting light-footed, for example, where they're just simply not making sounds. Even when a wall is not involved, it's just straight up, there's just no sound being emitted from a loud noise notification, things like that. So I have a perfect example of how insanely broken this is. Here, I want you to tell me if you can hear the hatch. I'm going to play this at max volume. You know what? Here. Even louder volume. Everything maxed. Do you hear hatch? Where's the hatch sound? It should be going, oh, where is it? There's no hatch sound. Just, the hatch is literally right here. It is within lunging distance, but because there's a wall in the way, audio occlusion, for those who don't know, audio occlusion is essentially when you muffle or lower the sound or the volume of sound because there's an obstruction in the way. It's a realistic way of replicating how sound works, because when sound hits something, it bounces off of it and kind of goes around it, bounces off walls. And so you will hear the sound, but it's going to sound different than if it was right in front of you. Just like if I do this, and then if I do this, it sounds different because my hands are in the way. That's what audio occlusion in at least video games is. And DBD has notoriously had very finicky audio occlusion. It really just depends on the patch. Some patches it actually works totally fine, and there's no issues. Other patches, like this one, and honestly the one before this, you cannot hear people that are literally a foot away from you because there's a twig in the way, and the entire game just shuts off all audio. It's really, really bad this patch, though, and I've found Killer very frustrating because I cannot track people on the other sides of walls right now, which is one of the most important parts about Killer, is being able to know if they've doubled back and you should stop your mind game or keep going. It is a vitally important part of Killer, being able to hear where a survivor is on the other side of a wall. Just playing Nemesis alone, I can tell you coughing while infected is completely broken. I would say the majority of my matches, people just don't cough at all. If they have Iron Will, sometimes they also just don't cough, even though it's not supposed to stop your coughing. It's just, sound is so incredibly fucked. Ever since they made the change to the next Unreal Engine version, I feel like sounds have just been worse than they've ever been. And I'm curious to hear if you guys are having the exact same issues. I talked about this on Twitter, and a lot of people said that, yes, this is happening, but maybe that's only PC players. Maybe consoles not having that or something. I don't know why it'd be any different. I'm just trying to spitball here. But I do feel like this needs to get a lot of attention, because this is past the point of annoyance and more towards the, it's becoming like slightly unplayable. Like I can still play the game, but it's really frustrating being deprived of one of my two senses to see the game. I can't fucking lick the screen and taste it. So I really only have sight and sound here, and completely removing one of those is a massive detriment to playing Killer, and it's making it a lot more frustrating. So I would hope the devs would see stuff like this, the complaints, and maybe look into why the sound occlusion is so bad right now, because yeah, it is making Killer a pretty unfun experience overall. And from what I can tell, for Survivor, it's not nearly as bad, because the Killer is usually not going to be able to hear the Survivor as well as the Survivor can hear the Killer, because, you know, terror radius and stomping and things like that. So yeah, that's what we got going on, and hopefully they fix this right on time with when they said that they were going to equalize Survivor audio levels, which I think they were going to do about 4 years ago. So we're right on track to fixing that.